You've seen Apple's innovations, the game-changing products and the jaw-dropping reveals, but what does 2025 have in store for us as consumers? The final specs might be still under wraps, but Apple's blueprint is already written, not just for this year, but possibly for the next few years. Today we're deep diving into what's next, what's coming, and how Apple plans to shape the next generation of their tech, especially in 2025. Let's take a quick detour to 2020. That's when Apple made that move that redefined their future, the launch of their custom-designed M1 chip. Since then, their devices have become faster, smarter, and even more connected than ever before. The M1 wasn't just another chip, it was a revolution. It took the reins from Intel and gave Apple that unprecedented control over their devices' performance and efficiency. With every generation so far, the M2, the M3, and now the M4, they've continued refining their vision. The progression from M1 to M3 brought steady improvements in power and efficiency, but with the M4, Apple is doubling down on AI and GPU performance, making it harder than ever to resist upgrading, even for those early M1 adopters, and I was very close to upgrading my trusty M1 Mac Mini. But the question is, will the M5 series later this year focus on groundbreaking performance, or something entirely new, like innovative designs? What do you think? Just let me know. But it's this refinement of their silicon that's shaping Apple's entire strategy moving forward. So what's next for 2025? Let's talk predictions. Towards the end of this year, we'll probably see the introduction of the M5 chips, but first up, some of the current range still needs to be brought up to current spec. We'll probably see a 15 and 13-inch MacBook Air, with Apple making that M2 iteration redundant and possibly keeping the M3 MacBook Air as the cheaper alternative. While the MacBook Pros are already on the latest M4, M4 Pro and M4 Max chips, will we see those updates to M5 at the end of the year? Now, while we probably won't see an M5 iMac this year, but maybe a redesign and an iMac Pro next year? Maybe. And let's talk about the redesigned star of 2024, the Mac Mini. The base Mac Mini, probably one of the best introductions to the Mac ecosystem that you can get if you're not already in it. With that already featuring the M4 and M4 Pro, it's unlikely we'll be seeing an update this year. But while we probably won't see an update in the Mac Mini, does that mean it's time that we'll see an update to the ever popular M2 Max and Ultra chip Mac Studio? I'd like to think they do, and they could do it with an M5 launch. And what about the Mac Pro? Terribly overpriced compared to what you can get now with the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio at a fraction of the cost. But like the Mac Studio, it's still languishing on that M2 generation. I feel like the Mac Studio has taken over that powerhouse crown from the Mac Pro, except for users wanting that expandability. Does that mean it's time for a timely Mac Pro redesign? Something in line with how the Mac Mini and Studio look? That progression would be very Apple-like. And what better way to complement these Mac desktops with a long-needed update to both the Studio display and that costly Pro Display XDR. But whatever happens this year, expect a major boost in GPU performance, AI integration and efficiency. Apple will continue refining its chips to make them even faster and more efficient, all while keeping the devices cool and lightweight. For me, the iPad has become a strange product within the ecosystem. Does it try to bridge the gap between tablet and laptop and in the process start to become more Mac-like but in tablet form? Or does it continue on the path where tablets have always been? That place where if you can't do it on your phone, then you've got a tablet with a larger form factor that is both convenient and allows you to be more productive. Now, within the Apple ecosystem, you've got that high-end, expensive powerhouse tablet in the Pros with the M4 chip that are more powerful than the capabilities of the software, leaving this void at the top end, making it even more of a laptop alternative. But these probably won't be updated until we at least see the M5 chips, unless Apple do what they did last year and introduce the M5 midway through this year with a new set of iPad Pros. And then we have the rest of the lineup, the iPad Air on the M2, which should be updated this year, but will it be to the M5, or could that be overkill in an Air, or more likely to an M4? Then you've got the iPad Mini on its current A17 Pro chip and the cheapest iPad still on the A14 Bionic chip. Will these two finally catch up to the M series chips, or will we see the base iPad evolve into something more compatible with Apple Intelligence? Now, Apple's direction here could reshape how we view tablets entirely. Now, the iPhone is a given, with the iPhone 17 series likely supporting the A19 family of SoCs, but will Apple finally introduce a bold new design, or will it be another year of subtle refinement? The only thing that is less certain is what the back of the iPhone will look like. The last few generations have been underwhelming, but some of the rumours showing the Google Pixel Pro-like back look promising. Either way, it's bound to be that thing that sets the tone for smartphones in 2025. The Apple Watch. We definitely know that we should be seeing a Series 11 watch this year because that's the annual thing that we see. But will that have that redesign that many have been craving for? By the time the September event comes around, I'd like to think that the SE3 should or would have already been announced, since it's been, by the time the September event comes, 3 years since the SE2 came out. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Series 11, the SE3 and the Ultra 3 with full integration with Apple Intelligence, or announced at the same time, maybe with some new health tech features like blood pressure monitoring, glucose tracking, or most likely more advanced sleep analysis, which could be part of that standard health kit for your wrist. Generally, I like the current AirPods lineup, except for the AirPods Max, which is crying out for some sort of update. But technically, looks-wise, and apart from a few cosmetic changes, could the whole lineup do with an update? Does that mean we'll see AirPods 5, Pro 3, or even a Max 2? I like the direction that Apple is going with the AirPods by focusing on the AirPods as health tech and how they can benefit you in other ways other than simply just giving you good audio. There have been rumours of temperature sensors in these, which for me would be a good move from Apple. Every year I eagerly look forward to WWDC, and this year I want to know how Apple will build upon promises to iOS 18 and Apple Intelligence, with some features that we're still waiting for. Will iOS 19, iPadOS 19, the new macOS, watchOS 12 and visionOS 3 really be what they are promised to be, or will they just leave us wondering in anticipation of promises of future features that may or may not come at launch in September or even this time next year? One thing we do know, Apple has always been on the mission to create a seamless experience across all of its devices. This year, we could see even more synergy between the operating systems. This unified ecosystem will always be Apple's trump card, making it easier than ever to switch between devices without missing a beat. While we might not see drastic hardware changes, and more so changes that we'd like to see, we should definitely expect some refined iterative updates. Think lighter, maybe thinner MacBooks, possibly even better displays, maybe OLED screens coming to the MacBook Pro, possibly even a higher refresh rate on the base iPhones. Apple's strategy right now is more about evolution than revolution. See what works and then do it the Apple way. 2025 will likely be a year where Apple focuses on that refining of their unified ecosystem. We'll see even better performance thanks to the higher end M4 chips and possibly the introduction of the M5 later this year, but don't expect those dramatic hardware changes just yet. Apple's long game is all about perfecting that synergy between their devices, and frankly, that's what makes them so hard to beat, but also frustrating at times. Is there something that you're looking forward to this year? Personally, I'm looking forward to the iPhone launch because it's my year to upgrade this year, so I'll definitely be getting that. Will we see something revolutionary, or will it be more of the same but better? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.